Welcome to Edu Talk. My name is Antoinette Richardson, and I'm the Chief Education Officer for Mayor Baraka's Office of Comprehensive Community Education. Today, we're going to talk about something that very important to Newark. You know, Newark is a college town. Newark is a university town. But the question for us is, who of us, of Newark residents, are attending college, not just in Newark, but attending college and graduating? What does that look like for us? We're going to really investigate that question deeply today. And I have a very important guest here, a very important person in the world of education today. And that is Mr. Reginald Lewis. And Reginald Lewis is the Executive Director of NCLC, Newark City of Learning Collaborative. Welcome, Reggie.
Thank you. Good to be here.
And before we get started, you know, we always have a fun fact. That's part of what we do here on Edu Talk. We do a fun fact. Today's fun fact is something that you have time to find the answer to. If you want to do your own research, you can come back with the answer before I present the answer at the end of this show. So here's the question. What percentage of New Jersey residents have an associate's degree or higher? That's a 2-year degree, a degree that you can get from a county college or higher. So that's an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, which is a 4-year degree, a doctorate degree, or really high-level professional certification. How many New Jersey residents fit into that category? We'll let you know later on in the show. So, Reggie, I'm glad that you could make it here today. I know your schedule is crazy because you're going around really trying to inform the public about this issue of college and what it looks like for residents in Newark. So, could you tell us a little bit more or a little bit about the work of NCLC and that goal of 25 by 25? What does that, by 2025 by 2025, what does that really mean?
So again, good to be here. The Newark City of Learning Collaborative, also known as NCLC, is a citywide effort. We're working to move all of Newark toward higher levels of college enrollment and completion. Newark is prospering. There's a great deal of economic development taking place throughout our city, but not all of Newark residents are benefiting from this prosperity, largely due to the lack of folk who are earning degrees and credentials who can compete for employment in our local economy. That's why in 2015, Mayor Ras Baraka, Rutgers Newark Chancellor Nancy Cantor, and leaders from throughout the city came together to create and establish a goal, as you mentioned, 25 by 2025. That is 25% of our residents holding an associate's degree, credential, or higher by the year 2025. But Tony, as you know, far more important than a focus on a mere numeric target is the important work of building a college-going culture so that all of our students can get to and through college, and that's obviously work that's going to continue long beyond 2025.
And I hear you talk about the mayor, you talk about Rutgers University, Nancy Cantor, and obviously this has to be a collaborative effort. Nobody can do this alone. Can you talk about the collaborative nature of this work? Who's collaborating? Why is it necessary to collaborate?
That's right. Well, for this kind of bold, ambitious work, you can't do it alone, right? No one organization can create a college-going culture for an entire city. So you've got to have partners. And at NCLC, we're fortunate to draw from the expertise of partners from a range of sectors: nonprofit, corporate, philanthropic, local government, K-12 schools, and of course, higher education. And while we're proudly housed on the Rutgers University Newark campus, we're also proud of the fact that we can tap into resources from 9 additional higher ed partners in Newark, Essex County College, Berkeley College, Pillar College, NJIT, Rutgers Biomedical Health Sciences, and within greater Newark, within those communities that surround the city, Bloomfield College, Felicia University, Montclair State University, and Seton Hall University. So as you said earlier, we are indeed a college town.
And I think it's very interesting, and it's really great that colleges who aren't necessarily located in Newark, but who service residents of Newark who go to those
Absolutely.
colleges to get their higher education are a part of this collaborative. I think
Absolutely.
that's a very important piece. So they see the value of Newark.
Absolutely.
It's
And the
wonderful.
importance of Newark within this region. So we all have a stake in that process.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, the kind of core of what I think we'd like to talk about today is a report that NCLC did. And we can talk about what we think is happening, who we think is going to college, why we think they're going, why we think they're graduating, why we think some of them aren't staying. We all have our ideas about that. But you guys at NCLC have really done the work to be able to talk about that and to give us some data that makes it all make sense. So can you talk about that report? I know you've been going, I'm sorry, but you've gone around, taking the time to go around to different parts of the city, report out to the community, but not everyone is aware of it, and we'd like more people to know. So.
Well, again, Tony, thanks for this opportunity to be on this show to raise awareness about this issue, which is so critical to the city of Newark. You're right. We are proud of releasing the first comprehensive analysis of college-going patterns for all Newark High School graduates, regardless of school sector, district, charter, vocational, technical, and parochial. For the first time, we could talk about where our students are enrolling, how well they're doing in terms of persisting, and the progress they're making towards degree completion. And there's some good news. More of our young people are indeed going to college, something that we don't hear enough about in our city. 54% of the young people in our study immediately enrolled within college. That is, they landed somewhere within the first academic year or the following academic year of their graduation. But what we also found is that not enough of our young people are staying enrolled. Not enough of them are persisting past that second year in order to persist toward degree completion. Only 23% of the cohort of 2011 within that study actually earned a certificate or degree within 6 years of graduating from high school. So we've got our work cut out for us, but the good news is that more of our young people are going to college. At issue is how do we build on that progress, particularly in light of the fact that more of our students are graduating from high school. In our city, we've gone from 61% to 78%, a 78% graduation rate in just a few short years. So as more of those young people are graduating from high school, it's on us to make certain that they're better prepared for college and that they get the support they deserve to persist toward degree completion.
I think it's important. I just thought about something. A person who goes to college may well accumulate debt. If you finish college, you have more capacity to be able to repay that debt. And then if you don't, then you're still saddled with that
That's right.
debt. So there's a lot of reasons to go ahead and finish getting that degree so that you will be able to earn more money.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And not being able to persist, we're talking about a huge amount of debt that accumulates. I think right now, college debt or student loan debt has exceeded or surpassed debt for car loans and mortgages. So car loans and credit cards is actually. So we've got a reason to want more and expect more in terms of our young people achieving better outcomes.
Excuse me, that number just makes me
That's
clutch
right.
my pearls.
Surpasses. That's right.
No, and it's when you think about life
That's
and the
right.
life trajectory and wanting to have a secure financial
That's
future.
right.
Yeah,
That's
you
right.
wanna finish.
Surpasses car loans and credit card debt. Yes.
I can't think about that. Okay, so what should we all be thinking about in reference to this? Because I know that the details of the report would give us a lot more to think about. Let me ask you this. Is the report available? How can
Absolutely.
people get it?
Absolutely. You can visit us online at nclc2025.org.
Okay.
Happy reading. It's
Hmm.
developed so that it's right for public consumption.
Great.
But to the larger essence of your question, we produced this research so that we could use the data, right? As you and I and a number of folk around the city have been talking about for years, we want data to inform our policy making decisions. We want data to inform our practice. In our report, we call for 8 specific recommendations for how we can all collectively respond to improving outcomes, and I'll just highlight 3 of them. The first, as you referenced, the roundtables, the conversations in the community that we just sponsored
Hmm.
in every ward of our city in partnership with you and the Newark Public Schools. So engaging our families a lot earlier, right? We wait too late in our city to have this conversation about planning and preparing for college. So engaging our families more often, that's certainly one of our core recommendations. The second, and I know this is something that you're going to expound upon with your next guest, is to give our young people greater access to rigorous coursework. And so that
Hmm.
means academically challenging classes like AP or advanced placement,
Hmm.
IB or international baccalaureate, honors, or something near and dear to my heart, as you know, dual enrollment, where we can give our
Hmm.
students the opportunity to earn college credit while they're still in high school. Why is that important? With greater rigor, we increase the odds that our young people will be on track to graduate high
Hmm.
school on time. But back to that issue about debt and preparedness, to graduate high school ready to do college level work and avoid that downward spiral of accumulating debt with nothing to show for it. So the downward spiral of developmental remedial coursework, which often results in a dead end and a number of our kids not being able to persist towards degree completion. So that's important. And then last but certainly not least, we talk about persistence.
Hmm.
We need to better support our young people when they enroll in college. One of the interesting facts that came out of this report is the fact that the majority of our young people actually enroll or select colleges close to home.
Yes, they do.
83% of our young people selected schools within New Jersey.
Hmm.
67% of them actually chose a college within 10 miles of Newark. So that gives us an opportunity as a community, as you often talk about, to embrace our young people, to let them know that just because they've left the comforts of high school and home, that there are supports that remain in our city. Let's support them with calls and care packages. Let's connect them to their peers and alumni from various high schools who've actually already traveled the journey that they're on. And let's also make sure that we do a better job of making them aware of resources on their respective college campuses so that they have the supports they need to persist towards a degree completion.
Absolutely. So, what should various stakeholders be thinking about? You know, you have parents, you have, of course, the students, you have the school district, the guidance that certainly has a major responsibility, and not that you can dictate what people must do, but what do you think that folks should do?
Well, it starts by being aware,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, again, many thanks to you in this program, the work of the Office of Comprehensive Community Education,
Mm-hmm.
and our partners and our relationships at the Newark Public Schools. It's all of us, right? So, in line with the mayor's collective vision, it's the we. So it begins with us being aware of this kind of critical data, but making use of the data. Parents, students, guidance counselors, they all have a stake in this, but the business community, right? The larger community of stakeholders in the philanthropic, in the nonprofit space, all those partners who make up the Newark City of Learning Collaborative, because we all have a stake in Newark's future. And you can't get there unless all of Newark is equipped to prosper and benefit from what's going on, hence the
Mm-hmm.
need to be a part of building together a college going culture.
Absolutely. You know, I love to see young people on college campuses because I found, and, you know, I was a teacher for many years. I always
Yes.
say that, I won't go back to that. But having never walked on a college campus, and then for someone to say, it is time for you to go to college, well, that can be a really scary thing. So I think the more opportunities that are made available for students to walk on
That's
college
right.
campuses, to get the feel of a college campus and to interact in some way. I think that those kind of situations make college seem more user friendly
Absolutely,
to our young people.
which is one reason why we have something at NCLC known as our College Pathway Initiative, in which we partner very closely with the Newark Public Schools and others and college readiness groups around the city to actually begin working with our students and their families a lot earlier, bringing them in as 10th graders in the form of Saturday academies that take place right on the Rutgers University Newark campus, providing academic and social emotional supports, along with key college readiness activities to get them exposed a lot earlier, as you're mentioning, as you're talking about here on this show.
No, I have 3 adult children. All 3 of them are, minimally have a BA, some more and all. But
You should be proud.
thank you. But my point here is that one of them, and I won't say which one, declared that they were not going to college
Aha.
when they were in high school. So I said, okay. I said, so what I need you to do is figure out, like, oh, and her girlfriends weren't going either. So I
Interesting.
said, so figure out where you guys are going to live and be able to afford to live on what you are going to be able to make. And she was like, for real? And I was like, yeah. I'm not saying I would have done it, but I was like, yeah. So what I did was her older sister was in college, out of state, sorry, out of state. But so I sent her to homecoming. And when she came back, she said, I'm going to college. I don't want to talk about it. But it was just that experience
Yes.
of feeling that the culture of the university that, you know, took her to the side I wanted her to be on. So I know that is very important and that we have to be creative.
We do.
Yeah, we have to
do.
be creative because, every child is different and something's going to pull one and, something else is going to pull someone else, and we have to use the data to make
That's
sure that
right.
we're trying and doing the right things. So would you like to say anything in closing before we end?
Let's all continue to be a part of this effort. It's something that we have to do in the collective. Again, visit us at nclc2025.org and learn how you and others can be a part of this important work, which is so key to Newark's future.
Thank you. And I think, the most important thing that you said, everything has been important, but it's about collaboration, because that's what Mayor Baraka talks about all the time, is that it takes all of us to do anything, and certainly to raise the college attendance and graduation rate in this city. It's going to take all of us. So thank you, Reggie.
Thank you so much.
Welcome back to Edu Talk. Joining us are Principal Carla Stevens and Senior Becky Akinyime from Bard High School Early College. Welcome.
Thank you.
Did I mess your name up? Say it for me correctly, please.
Akinyemi.
Akinyime. Sorry.
Sorry.
Thank you. So I'm going to ask Reggie, who was on our segment a few minutes ago, to just talk about something. You said that dual enrollment was near and dear to your heart. What is dual enrollment, and why is it near and dear to your heart?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, dual enrollment is an opportunity for high school students to earn college credit while they're still in high school. And it's near and dear to my heart because it's really a chance to help our young people to get on track to graduate high school on time, but also to graduate ready to do college level work. And that's why I'm a big fan of Dr. Stevens and all the work that's happening at Bard.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Thank you. So, Principal Dr. Stevens, okay, we want to get it all in. So, what can you tell us about the program, about dual enrollment at Bard?
All right. So Bard High School Early College is a partnership between Bard College, which is a liberal arts college in upstate New York, and the Newark Public Schools. We provide an opportunity for students to earn 60 college credits and an associate's degree conferred by Bard College, tuition free. So what is somewhat unique about our program of dual enrollment is that our professors, most of our teachers are professors. So most of our teachers have doctoral degrees. They teach at both the high school and the college level. So I started as founding faculty in history in 2011 when our school started. And so I taught ninth grade American history and college electives. And even as the principal, I still teach a college elective there. All of our administrators do.
That's wonderful. That's a whole nother show to talk about the value of that.
Okay.
But that's really important to know. And so you've been at Bard in Newark
Yes.
since its inception. Uh, and this is maybe a crazy question, but have the students changed? Are they the same students who were coming in 2011? Are the students now more ready, more knowing what the experience would be? What do you find?
Huh. It's so every class is different. So I can't say that there's a particular projection. I will say that our ninth grade class this year is very strong academically, but as I say, each class is different. Our class of 2017, I'm happy to say 100% high school graduation, 77% earned associate's degrees.
Wow.
So we are very excited to hopefully keep that trend. Even over the 7 years that we've existed, most of our graduating class earned at least 70% of most of our graduating class earned associate's degrees,
Thank you.
as well as high school diplomas.
And now I'm going to ask you another question that you're not prepared for, or that you may be. What is the most challenging thing about being the principal at Bard?
Oh. Well, the most challenging thing about being the principal at Bard is balancing the high school culture and the college culture. And it's a great challenge to have. We start off with basically 8th graders, and we have 2 years to turn 8th graders into college students, because the way the program is designed, we have a rigorous 9th and 10th grade high school experience for our students, and then when they go to our 3rd year, we call it year 1 college, not 11th grade, then they enter the dual enrollment portion of the schooling, where they're earning both high school and college credit for the college classes that they're taking in the last 2 years. So we have college professors who really want to create this college culture for our students, and we have 8th graders who want to be high school students.
Of course.
So, and need that time to do the transition. So it's wonderful. One of the reasons why I appreciated being a 9th grade teacher is because I had that opportunity to knowing what students were going to need as college students, to really know what it was that I was doing in order to prepare them to be ready in year 1 to be college students.
So it sounds like there was an internal growth process within the organization.
And continuing. Yes. So our Newark students are teaching us to build my motto is building an intellectual community. So that is an ongoing process that makes everyone in our building lifelong learners.
Well, I love that for the city.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Absolutely. So Becky, could you speak to us? What are you dual enrolled in, and can you just talk to us about your experience a bit?
Well, I am a senior, so all of the classes that I take now are college classes, and so we do have like core classes, and then everything like extra that I'm interested in is like an extra curricular sort of class. So I have seminar, which is a combination of English and history. I have my math class, which is college calculus, and then I have the rest of my classes are like extracurricular classes that I take. I take creative writing. I am in college dance. So there's like a lot of things that you can pick and choose from. Another class that I really enjoy is it's like a Chinese history class, so it's like learning about the language and like the history of China as a country. And there's just a bunch of like interesting subjects, so it's not all just like English, math, science, whatever. Like you have your core high school curriculum, but once you become a college student, you really get to experience the freedom of choosing, well, this is what I like to do, so this is the class that I'm going to take.
You know, the word that comes to my mind is exposure.
Yeah.
It sounds like you, in this high school, college experience, are being exposed to a lot of courses and topics and classes that the average high school student in Newark may not necessarily be exposed to. What does that What does that feel like to have this exposure and this range of various types of courses to choose from?
Well, I would say that I'm really like blessed to have that because I know that a lot of public schools aren't like Bard. Bard is like unique in the sense that there's so many opportunities and there's so much that I can learn that I know if I went anywhere else I wouldn't get that opportunity. It's just interesting and I feel so lucky to be able to go to a school where I can say I spent 3 years learning Chinese, or I can say that I was taught by people who went to college specifically to learn their major, that each class is specialized to what these teachers know, and I get to learn so much because of it.
Thank you. Now I'm going to ask you a hard question that you're not prepared for. Okay, so if you look at your BARD experience, obviously you cannot take BARD and put it in another school.
Right.
But if there was maybe one thing that you could say that is really special, unique about BARD that might benefit our other magnet and comprehensive high schools, what would be one thing that you would like to, if you could gift something about BARD to other high schools, what might it be? I know that's hard to add off the top of your head.
If I could gift one thing, I think it would probably be like the sense of community that I feel like Bard has. Like Bard is such a close knitted community, and I know that's so important for like the development of a student. So even if like the classes aren't up to par or the curriculum is not the same, the level of attention and care that all of my teachers put into me and my fellow peers is like so dedicated. Like even our fellows, like people who are coming to like learn under the teachers who aren't even like our actual teachers, care so much about us and like are so dedicated into helping us. Like our fellows in that they work in the library and they're so invested in our seniors, like our college process. They're like helping us read our personal statements. They're helping us with applications, everything. Like there's literally no teacher that you can go to in Bard and say, I need help with this, that won't help you. They're all so invested in the students, and just a sense of like, they've decided this is what I want to do with my life. That sense of commitment and community is the thing that I would give to all schools, because I believe that that is what makes a school a school. That's what helps nurture those students to be better people.
So it sounds like school culture and climate at Bard is not just social, but it's ingrained in the academic life.
It is.
So I think that's a lesson for everyone to learn, how important that balance is. So I would like to thank you all for coming on and just really talking about Bard High School, early college, but in the sense of letting our listeners and our viewers know that there's an experience, and it's at one particular school, Bard. Many of the other high schools, I believe, Reggie, also have opportunities, not a dual enrollment to the extent of Bard, but I know that there are also numerous programs within the city where students can earn
Both
college.
Bard and Eastside High School have the distinction of offering both the AA degree and the diploma, and
Right.
a number of the other 16 plus high schools, or over close to 16 high schools, are moving certainly in the direction of having more dual enrollment experiences, so that's correct.
I know I used to work at the Marion Bolden Student Center, and there's a program there, not as extensive, of course, but they run a program called REACH, where they offer a humanities course for 4 students, for 4 credits. So Bard is a unique and wonderful dual enrollment opportunity. But I guess my point is that if you want that experience, that it is there in other places, and that there are a lot of things in the Newark Public Schools to take advantage of. If that's what you want students, if that's what you want parents, is there for you. So thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Okay.
having us.
And now I'm going to go to our fun fact. The question for our fun fact was, What percentage of New Jersey residents have an associate's degree or higher? That's 2-year degree, 4-year degree, doctorate. Anyone know the answer? It's okay if it's you, Reggie. Because you have to know the answer.
46% statewide.
46%. Okay. And how do you know? Where does that data come from?
I'm supposed to know.
Yes.
And that data is from the American Community Survey, which is essentially census data.
The census data. Okay, so 46%. So, and right now, Newark has what?
Newark, the city as a whole, is 21%.
Newark is 21%. Well, that's better. That's up from 17%
That's up
that I
from
heard.
17% when we started this thing known as the Newark City Learning Collaborative.
But we've got a way to go, and there's something that everyone can do to help, and everyone here is doing their part, and you know, we just need everyone in the community to do their part. And I think that in addition to the things we talked about, we talk about getting the degrees and being able to earn more money. There's also simply just being more knowledgeable about the world and just really changing our city in a really positive way. So again, thank you. And this has been Edu Talk. We're glad that you joined us, and please stay tuned for more Edu Talk.